recording here on a Wednesday. Ian Rappaport just came out just today, brand new, fresh out the oven. Deebo Samuel says he does not want to return with the team. He said he wants
Officially
out. He wants to
requested
be
a trade.
traded. I don't know if he requested a trade, but he's saying he wants out of San Francisco.
He's officially requested he's officially requested a trade.
And also saw that he doesn't want to give any reason behind it, Deebo Samuel. So
I read on
Julian. Yeah. Julian, I'll start with you. How do you feel about Deebo Samuel? I mean, what is this a sign of? Why does Deebo want to leave?
This is out. Like, this to me kind of came out of nowhere until like last week is when you started to hear something of it. But like before last week, I mean, who would have thought he was going anywhere? This is clearly contractual issues, right? I mean, like, what else? I don't know. I mean, there's no way of knowing. Either like he felt disrespected and he just wants to leave, or maybe like contract issues. I mean, who knows? Who knows what it could be? I will say, considering the type of player he is a great player, but I think he fits a certain type of role for a certain type of team. I don't think he's necessarily a guy you could plug and play anywhere. Or if you're going to get him, you have to put him in a situation that fits for him. Like San Francisco was such a great fit for him because San Francisco has probably the best offensive line in the league. So he was great at running the ball because of that. He has great contact balance. And he was great in like bubble screens and things like that, where receivers knew how to block on that team. That team was a blocking team. They just knew how to block, and they just gave Deebo the ball, and he ran with it. So if you put him on a team where they don't have receivers who can block, the offensive line is shaky, I don't know how necessarily good he will be, because his route running is it's all right. It's not bad. It's not great. But I think it takes a specific team for him to fit. And I think he might even know that too.
Wow. Jojo, any thoughts on Deebo Samuel? Do you have any
good analysis? Well, starting with San Francisco, their season's over. Seffi's gone. They're starting.
You're talking about Jimmy G's going to take it to the promised land.
Listen. I mean, it could be a few things, right? I mean, Julian, kind of made a point. It could be contractual issues, or it could be the NFL is becoming the new NBA, and these guys don't want to waste their prime, and they want to be on a winning or championship team. So who knows? Maybe he just heartbreaking loss in the playoffs, and he decided to move on to go somewhere else. It could be anything.
I mean, a team that went to the NFC Championship twice in 3 years, that's a pretty good winning team. I mean,
so here's the thing.
I don't know his expectations. It could be anything.
A lot of, especially now, because it kind of ties in with the Dolphins. A lot of, with Mike McDaniel leaving. I had to bring it back into Miami. Mike McDaniel leaving. Mike McDaniel's been hiring a lot of staff from the 49ers, a lot of ex-players. We have Mozart on our team. I think this Deebo Samuel, he's an excellent. He's a playmaker, bro. He is an X factor. I believe that he's good running the ball. You just give him the ball, put the ball in his hands, and he's going to make shit happen.
Yeah,
he's a great runner. I think he's a good receiver. I don't know about the extent of his route running, but I mean, the guy yards after catch. I mean, the guy's explosive. So
yeah, his contact balance is amazing.
Yeah, he's the upcoming star. We haven't seen the prime of Deebo Samuel, but he's a rising star in this league. And the fact that, I see a mass exodus, they're going to bring back Jimmy G again for another year. That's what it seems like. And they have Trey Lance in the wings, which they haven't, pulled the trigger on Trey Lance. So I see a lot of exodus out of San Francisco. And this is probably just him like, I don't know if I'm going to have a good year. Maybe he's fighting. Maybe he thinks he's playing above his contract and he wants a better deal. Because, in the NFL, not everything's guaranteed. You have to play to get paid. So, this is typical, maneuvering. Right now, we're in the middle of voluntary camps, which we'll talk about later. There's another story we'll talk about, but so I think this is just maneuvering, just trying to probably get a better deal for his situation. Like he is an explosive player, he's a playmaker, he's a rising star, and I feel like he's just trying to get this is maneuvering. I think this is maneuvering for his career.
Here's a thought process. Maybe he doesn't like the role that he is playing in San Francisco, even though that might be the best role for him and the type of player he is. But maybe he wants to be more of that X receiver, and San Francisco's not putting him in that situation because you have a guy like Jimmy G, and also he excels so well, like yards after contact, the yak. So maybe he wants to test himself enough in a more vertical system, like that could be a thing too. And he feels like San Francisco is not utilizing to his strengths. I mean, no, not utilizing him in that way. But I mean, kind of from what I've seen, like I feel like that kind of role is perfect for him. Like that kind of like that hybrid role gadget player who you can line him up anywhere and he just kind of does it. I don't know if he necessarily can be like a X wide number one wide receiver, like that can just no matter what, you can trust him to be open or can make that catch. I mean, he's a great player and I would take him on my team, or I'm sure anybody would take him. But that's why I think he needs to be in a specific system that fits him. And I mean, it could be a number of things. Maybe it could be all three. He doesn't like his contract. He doesn't like the role that he's playing. He feels like it's going to maybe all that contact's going to shorten his career. Maybe like his coaches being gone, like Gabe said. But I am a little surprised. But it's hard. I guess he can't have the stats that you can have as a receiver if you have Jimmy G throwing you the ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he was hurt last year. His first year, he played 15 games. He had like 57 receptions, 800 yards, which is pretty decent. I mean, for a rookie year, pretty decent. And he was a top receiver getting drafted. Last year he was hurt. 2020 he was hurt all of last year, and this year's when he finally he was healthy enough and had explosive year. He had 1,400 yards receiving. So
he had 1,400 receiving yards or total yards.
Yeah. Let me see. 1,400 on 121 targets, 1,405, 6 touchdowns. Not a lot of touchdowns, but but also
what's his yards after contact? I'm actually kind of curious if it says it.
His yak.
What's his average yak?
Let me see. His yak was 768 yak. The average of 10 yak.
Wow.
So plus that's receiving.
Wow,
that's
receiving. A lot.
Plus, they also use him for a run game, so he was running as well.
Yeah.
Like he
didn't have his rushing yards either.
I can pull. I mean, I gotta pull it up now.
Damn, Julian wants to know the whole stat.
I'm just curious. I'm actually,
just call Deebo yourself and ask him.
It made it seem like he had everything right there. That's why I didn't.
What'd you do last season?
Bro, you sound like you about to buy should have bought his rookie card last year.
Bro, 700 yards after contact is fucking
with 1,400 total. With 1,400 total. So let me see. Passing, rushing. Right here, 181. 181.
Really?
Or 365 total, 181 yards before contact. 181 yards before contact, 365 on 59 rushes. Okay. So
that seems about right.
21 first down.
1,700 total yards. Yeah, so, man, the guy's a playmaker.